Welcome to Super Seller Sunday. We are being joined with Tracy Miller today, and she is somebody who stood out to me the other day in such a huge way with just one simple comment. And sometimes it's just one small thing that we find that can help so many people. Tracy, I just want to have a fun conversation with you today because the other day you put on a quick tip for everybody, and everybody's lives felt like they got changed just a little bit because of something that you noticed. And one thing that I want you to know, and everybody else who listens to our videos and participates in our group is about helping each other become better, raising each other to a new level, and just being a community of positivity, even though we are dealing with so many crazy bugs. And for all of us who still want to participate in the craziness, this is what it's about. So I just want to kind of find out a little bit about you. I know you're a mom. Can you tell us some background about you and kind of what you do?
And I am a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids. They are in 5th grade, 3rd grade, and kindergarten. So my youngest is going to kindergarten. I have all 3 kids in school this year. So that's kind of what started all of this. I had been thinking about going back to work. I was a 1st grade teacher 11 years ago when I quit to stay home with my kids.
Wow.
I was thinking about going back as a para or something, that capacity substitute, but it's just hard with kids. You don't know if somebody's going to be sick. On the 3rd day of kindergarten, my son was quarantined because a kid in his class got COVID. So he had to stay home for 10 days. So it's just everything feels really unpredictable. So I love thrifting, have forever. And I had a friend who was moving and selling a lot of furniture and things like that on Facebook Marketplace. And around that time, I found like the cutest little vintage overalls in the kids section. And I was like, darn, I wish my son was little enough to wear these. They're so cute. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I could sell them on Marketplace because it feels like they're worth a lot. They're $149 and they're like vintage and in perfect condition. So I tried it and I made like $30. That was my first sale, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to try this. And that was about a month and a half ago.
That's pretty fast. How did you know it was vintage?
I looked up the label. I mean, looking often at the front label, like that was overalls. So it was like Oshkosh or something like that. And then looking at the inside label, often you can tell if it's kind of papery and different printing. But then I looked up Oshkosh logos online and it showed me kind of whereabouts. It was like 60s, 70s.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm thrifting and I've got my phone out and I'm looking, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm always like this, looking around like, who's watching me?
I know. I feel like I'm always paranoid looking around like, other people doing this to sell stuff? Like, I gotta hurry, get over there, get the good stuff.
And a lot of times I'll make up stories if I go into a store like a TJ Maxx or whatever, and they're like, what are you doing with all these shirts? Or what are you doing with all this stuff? And I'm just like, oh, Christmas, or, and the other day I made a huge haul and they're like, so what are you going to do with all these glasses? I said, well, to be quite honest with you, I'm just going to sell them. And the lady said to me, it happens all the time. People come in and buy thousands of dollars worth of stuff and they just go and sell them. I said, hey, well, I guess I'm part of them. But anyway, that's good. So you've been thrifting mostly, or do you go and do other things like retail arbitrage in other stores or anything like that, or drop shipping?
No, so far, I don't know lingo. I looked up drop shipping the other day. I don't totally remember what it is. No, we have like 4 thrift shops here in town, so I've been kind of going around to those, and I've been watching like reselling TikTok, and the prices at some people's Goodwills are amazing to me. I'm here in the middle of Kansas, and things are super cheap, so it works pretty well for me. And then we have Salvation Army and Etc. Shop, which are both kind of church run. And I can get things for like 50 cents. Yeah, pretty much just doing that. I resold some of our stuff. I've pretty much just been doing kids' clothes and like shoes for everyone.
So how is that going for you? Because some people have really good luck selling kids stuff and other people really struggle to sell kids stuff. What are you finding that's working well for you?
Well, I don't have a huge profit margin. Often I only make $5 or $6 on an item,
Mhm.
but that adds up a lot.
It
I think,
adds up fast.
yeah. So I think at first I was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to be worth it. But then I added it up. In my first month, I made like $700. And I was like, you know what? I'm having fun doing it. The listing takes the longest. And then with Facebook, relisting. um, but yeah, that's what I've been doing so far.
If you'll create some sort of a spreadsheet or use another program to help you when you take something off to delist that's not necessarily working, a lot of times it will help you when you have to just sit and copy and paste back over. And then sometimes if you're listing on more than one platform, some people will copy and paste from one platform to another, and that makes it a little bit easier also for them to relist when they're doing the relist. We're all still just trying to guess a lot. Um, what did you teach when you taught school?
I taught first grade.
Oh, first grade. Okay.
Mhm.
So lots of puzzles.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm just guessing lots of puzzles because of your little find. Tell us about how that happened. How did you figure that out? And so that they can totally understand how they can help themselves.
I was just really excited as a parent going through all the listings, and it'd be like, oh, here's a cute dress. And it would say something like Hannah Anderson short sleeve flower dress. You're like, okay, I click on it. It's a 2T. My daughter's 8. So I'm like,
Mhm.
great. You go back, you look for more things. So I
Mhm.
was, if they would just put the size first, it would be
Mhm.
so much easier.
Right. Right.
So I started doing it on mine, and I noticed, I mean, now I'm having some issues with views, but I noticed my views went up a lot. And
Mhm.
it made sense to me because I'm like, if I have an 8-year-old, I might be scrolling through and think, oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, it's in her size. Yeah, I'll look at it. Whereas I might not have stopped there before. So yeah, I redid it, and hopefully, I mean, it seems like it was working really well for a lot of other people too. So I just always put size 7, 8, and then go on to say what it is. Just
Right.
always the size.
That's what I was so impressed with is when you said that, I went, actually, because I do a lot of reading between the lines while we're continuously trying to figure out this platform, what works, what doesn't work, how to get out of jail. It's like a big board of Monopoly that everybody's still trying to figure out the rules too. And when you said that, I was like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. And in fact, I was talking to one of the other members the other night, and and she was like, why is my stuff not selling? And she was putting this stuff in the front just like what you had suggested. And I said, I think that maybe we need to tweak that, instead of saying size small and then the name of the clothes. I said, maybe just put S, name of clothes, and then what do you think? What's the best way to go?
I don't know. And I think probably different for women, those sizes, men's, kids. I often just put SZ and the number right there all together to try to put it as compact as I can because I know the brand name is also important or
Mhm.
explaining what it is.
Right, because if it's Juicy Couture, you want to know if it's Juicy Couture or, Walmart brand. So that
I,
makes a difference, even if it is cute.
Yes. Well, and if it was something really high end that I really wanted people to know that first, I might put that first. Yeah, since most of my stuff is thrifted, I don't often have something that's just like, oh wow, this is gonna, or if it's Nike, they can tell that by the picture, stuff like that. So far, I've just been doing it that way. I'm sure women's clothing is a different ballgame.
Well, how do you do your pictures?
I so far have done all of them outside, just laying them down on the grass when it's a good time of day when the lighting is really good.
Uh-huh.
And I've actually really liked that. I tried putting them on like a white sheet or whatever outside because I know that natural lighting is the best. And I just felt like I really like the contrast of the grass. I know that not a lot of people are doing that. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I try to just take, like, as a mom, I know what parts I would want to see. Like, I want to see what kind of zipper does it have? What does the back look like? What if it's a onesie, I need to know if it has snaps around the legs.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to just get close-up pictures and everything. Or if it's faded, I hold it up in the light, take a picture as well as I can, as good as I can. So this is how much it's faded, and I put it in the description because I don't want a negative review. And as a mom, if somebody made it sound like it was in perfect condition, I got it and it's faded, I'd be really.
So you basically go about it in the, if I was buying this frame of mind, how would I want to see it?
Yeah. And I just try to take as many. I mean, usually about 10 per item.
The maximum amount.
Yeah.
One of our other members was saying that he had was listening to some information from Facebook Marketplace people, and they said, fill out all the information the best that you can, give as much details. It sounds like that's what you're doing too.
Yeah, I've read some of that said to try to be as detailed as I can. Sometimes I feel like I almost go overboard, and that's why it takes a long time. But I'm new to this, so I'm still trying to figure out the algorithm and everything too.
Well, you're so sweet because I saw you today also post, hey, if you guys are doing Halloween, my Halloween's selling like crazy. Well, and then other people are like, oh, wait a second, how are you getting your Halloween sold? I think that you've really kind of hit on a lot of really good ways of being able to list and be effective at it. Good pictures, even if it's with the grass. Maybe these ones are with scarecrows, I don't know. And and the descriptions and how you're putting it together. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
Are you missing teaching?
Not right now. I love teaching, but I did it before I had kids, and it was incredibly time consuming. I don't know how these moms who are teachers are pulling it off, but maybe someday I'll go back.
Yeah. Well, my kids are all grown and gone now, so
yeah,
it's a different experience. Now I have grandbabies
oh,
and a dog.
yeah,
And a dog.
yeah.
He acts like a baby. He's a puppy though, so. Well, I'm really glad that I got to get to talk to you today. Do you have any advice for any of our viewers or anything that you'd like to share?
I still feel like I need to be learning from everyone else because I'm pretty new, but not that I can think of. I'm enjoying the group and learning from other people, and it's nice when with all the glitches something happens and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? And people have been really helpful navigating that, or even just seeing like, oh, okay, having this issue, looks like it's fixed now, calm down.
Everybody take it down a notch or 10.
I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh no, and then like, wait 5 minutes, it's gonna be okay.
Sometimes people just need to vent, and we try to make the platform as positive as possible, and sometimes people are like, are you going to delete that? No, I'm not. It's not really what I do. I want people to be as real as possible on our platform, without using profanity and things like that, but to just be real about their experience. And sometimes it's not great, and sometimes it is great, but we want to celebrate the things that are great and help people figure out and work through the things that aren't. And I think that you really stumbled on something amazing, and I really wanted to feature you for that. And to me, Super Seller Sunday isn't somebody who's selling millions of dollars every month, or even isn't always full time, but stands out because they figured something out that works for them. And sometimes if it works for you, it'll work for others.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I'm so glad. Thank you so much for talking with me.